Welcome to Mr. R's art class. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thumbs, subs, and ring that bell. So for this video here, I'm going to show you how to download an image from Teams and use that image as a background. But first we have to create a folder for that image that you're going to download from Teams and be able to locate it easily inside of Microsoft Word to set it as a background image. So what we're going to do is we're going to locate that file in the assignments folder. So you want to make sure that you're clicking on the period that you have my class. So in this video, I'm going to click on period 6. Make sure you're clicking on the period that you have my class. And you want to make sure that you're in the general channel on the left-hand side. And I'm going to click on assignments. And the assignment that we're going to do this for is going to be for the text your hand. And again, you can repeat this process for any assignments in the future. But for this assignment, I'm doing it for the text your hand. So if I ever ask you to set an image as a background and go ahead and trace it in Microsoft Word, you can follow these same exact steps. So I'm going to click on text your hand. And your screen is going to look something like this here. And I want to click on the PNG file. Don't click on the PDF file because that won't work as a background image. We want to click on the PNG file. So you want to find the PNG file. It's called Texture SM. And there's this little ellipse tool. So you're going to click on it just once with the left-hand side of your trackpad. Just tapping on once. You're going to get three options: open in Teams, open online, and download. So we're going to click on that last option there that says download. And so it's going to save in two different places. It's going to save in the file section of Microsoft Teams, which we're going to ignore that. And we want to actually download it onto our PC. There's going to be a download folder on our PC and we want to locate that file there. Okay, so we're going to click on download with the left side of our trackpad. Just click on it once. Just tap the trackpad once with the left side. And now you're going to get a notification saying that it's saved in the downloads folder. So now we need to find that downloads folder. So you can go down here to the bottom of your screen and find the File Explorer folder down here. Click on that. And you're going to have the downloads folder right there on top, or it might even be on the left hand side here. So there's two different ways to access that downloads folder. It'll take you to the same place. You could double tap with the left side of your trackpad. And there's the file there. So what we need to do is we need to take this image from the downloads folder and put it inside of a folder that we're going to create specifically for this assignment. So we're going to right click on this image, right click on it until this menu pops up, and you want to scroll down to where it says cut. So we're going to lift this image up from the downloads folder and we're going to put it in a folder that we're going to make specifically for this assignment. So on the left hand side you do have these quick access links here. So we're going to click on the folder that says documents. And you want to click on the academic year. And you want to click on the semester that we're in. And you want to scroll down. In this video, I'm going to click on period 6. Make sure you click on the period that you have my class. And I'm going to create a folder. We're going to go ahead and try to start simplifying some of these assignments so it's easier for you to access your files and know where you're saving some of your files. Instead of doing week 1, week 2, week 3, I'm just going to go ahead and create an assignments folder. And you can do the same thing from here on out. So I'm going to right click with the bottom right side of my trackpad and just going to click once and scroll down to where it says new, move over to where it says folder, click on the left side of my trackpad to select, and there's a new folder there. So I'm going to call this folder assignments. Okay, and I'm going to click inside there, double click with the left side of my trackpad, and then I'm going to right click bottom right side of my trackpad just once. Create one last folder here, scroll down to where it says new and folder, and I'm going to call this folder text your hand. Okay, I'm going to go inside there. So remember, I already cut the image. Now all I need to do is just go ahead and paste it. So bottom right side of my trackpad, I'm going to click one more time, scroll down to where it says paste, and then there's the image there. So now we know where we have that image, and now we need to go over to Microsoft Word to set that image as our background so we could go ahead and trace on top of that. So I'm going to go down to the bottom left hand of my screen to where it says type here to search. Just click on it once. I'm going to type Word, W-O-R-D, until the app shows up. I'm going to click on the app that says Word, not WordPad. I'm going to click on Word. Go ahead and let that load, and then I'm going to click and open a blank document. And now from there, I'm going to go up to here where it says design on top of my screen, design. And you can have all these different options here loading, but I want to go all the way here to the right to where it says watermark. I'm going to click on that with the left side of my trackpad just once. I'm going to get some options down here. It's going to say custom watermark and remove watermark. Okay, so I'm going to click right here where it says custom watermark. And the first option that it's selected on already is going to be no watermark. I'm going to click on that second option to where it says picture watermark. The picture that we're going to set is going to be that texture hand. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on select picture here. That select picture option will not show up unless you have this picture watermark selected. So you can't just go from here to there. You have to click on the picture watermark. So go ahead and click on that with the left side. You're going to have three options to locate your file. Our file's on our PC, so we need to click on this first one where it says from a file. Click on that option. And now some of these folders should look familiar, but if your folder isn't showing, it might be because the scroll bar went all the way to the bottom. So what we could do is we could drag that up, and you can find these quick access links here on the left hand side. Click on the documents folder, click on the academic year, click on the semester that we're in, and then lastly click on the period, assignments, and the texture hand. And there's a file there. So I'm going to click on that file just once, and I'm going to go ahead and click on insert. Now there's the image there, there's a file name. Now all we have to do now is go ahead and click OK, and then the image is going to be set as a background image. So if you need to make it a little bit darker, all you have to do is just zoom in here. You can see some of those details. Okay, so you want to make it light enough so you can actually see what you're drawing. So you don't want to make this too dark. And you could zoom in. If you zoom in, you might have to play with these scroll bars here at the bottom or on the right hand side to adjust your image. So what you could do is, we're going to go ahead and trace this so that we could get some of these details pretty accurate, right? So we could get used to actually drawing things that are detailed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click up here to where it says draw. I'm going to click on my drawing tool here, and now I have the pen selected. So I'm going to click on the pen, and I'm going to use two different size lines here. You could even use more if you like. But I'm going to click this middle size tool here. All right, so all the way to the right, it's a wider pen tool. This one's a little bit medium size, and this one's really thin. So what I'm going to do is with the outline of this hand, I'm going to click this medium size tool here. Right, and I'm going to go ahead and outline this hand here using that medium size tool. So you could use your stylus, you could use your finger, you could use the trackpad. Again, if you make a mistake, you could use that eraser tool. Okay, so I'm just going to draw one of these fingers here real fast using the medium size pen tool here. So again, if you need to scroll up or scroll down, or you maybe need to zoom out, you could use this zoom out tool here. If you move to the left, you zoom out. If you move to the right, you move inward. If you scroll up to the edges here, those scroll bars will show up. If you hover over to the right or to the bottom, those scroll bars will show up. Okay, if you need to move up a bit. Okay, so you would just continue drawing your hand here. And some of these screens aren't as responsive as your stylus, so you might have to move a little bit slower there, the way that I am. And let's get this finger here. And so you would trace the whole hand. I'm just going to draw some of these textures here. And I'm going to go back to this finger over here so I can show you what I'm going to do. So again, all you have to do is hover down on the bottom or hover to the right if you need to scroll down. So I'm going to go over here to the left. I'm going to hover over here to the right so that scroll bar comes up. And I'm going to click back on my pen tool here. Let me show you with the mouse. I'm going to click back here with this pen tool. And I'm going to pick a thinner pen here so I can get some of these details. But I also want to zoom in. So I'm going to click back over here to the zoom tool. Move a little bit to the right. And I might have to scroll down here. So again, you want to hover over to the right. So it looks like your image disappeared. It might just be, you might have to adjust your scroll bars here. All right, so zoom in, getting closer to that finger there. And again, you can just trace over the lines that are already there in that image so that you can get used to drawing things that are more detailed there. Alright, so I'm just going over those lines with either my finger or my pen tool or your stylus. and you would just trace over those lines there as best as possible. And if your screen isn't as responsive, you might have to move a little bit slower with your pen tool. And so on this texture, there are some vertical and horizontal lines here, so that's what I'm trying to locate and find. So you keep repeating that process there for these bricks. On this other finger over here, right, you could draw across, draw your bricks, but you're just following those lines there. And the way that these bricks are drawn is that they're offset. So if I have these two bricks down here, when I say offset, that means that the medium or the middle of this brick here, this bottom brick, the middle part of this bottom brick is where this next brick will start. So I'm going to draw a pin there. And so if this is the middle of this bottom brick, I know that this brick would probably end around there somewhere. Right, so if this is the middle of this brick, somewhere right here would be the end of the bricks on top of that layer. Okay, so again, there's a lot of lines here on this wall. So again, I could zoom in here using the zoom tool. If it looks like your image goes out of place, you have to play with these sidebars or these side tools here. I'm going to scroll down until I find that finger that I was working on. You might have to move to the left. So again, if you're trying to zoom in and it looks like your image disappeared, hover over to the right or to the bottom and those scroll bars will show up. Okay, so I would still have to go back and add these textures of these bricks here. Right, so on these bricks there are some horizontal lines, but you also have some diagonal lines here. So these are hatch marks or cross hatching marks since they're crisscrossing. And so that just appears to create some sort of shadow there on the side. And this is the next brick up. Again, if you do make a mistake, you could use the eraser tool. And so you would try to do this for each type of texture here. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so you can see the difference between some of these wider lines here with the pen tool and these thinner lines. So try to do the outline of your hand here with a wider pen tool, maybe that medium size, and then go ahead and do some of those details here with the thinner pen tool all the way to the left hand side. So let's say that you are all ready, you're ready to save this image, it's done, it's complete. You want to make sure that you go to File, Save As, and you want to save it inside that same folder that we created for the texture hand. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and then this PC. I want to go into the academic year, semester 1, and then for this assignment I was saving inside of period 6. Make sure you're clicking on the period that you have my class, click on assignments, and there's the texture hand. So again, you want to save this using your last name underscore first name underscore and then the assignment name, so texture hand. And then I could even put today's date. Okay, so again, you want to follow this pathway here so that you know exactly where you're saving it, and then you're ready to upload it. So go ahead and click Save. If you have any questions about how to set an image as your background image or as your watermark, maybe you have a question about the different pen tools or pen size tools, or you have a question of how to create a folder specifically for an assignment, let me know. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And feel free to watch any of the other related videos.